Well, they're believing on both sides of the river. Of course, Clay County hoping to get the Royals up to North KC. And then on the other side, of course, you've got Jackson County trying to keep the Royals in their county. Obviously looking at the downtown location versus the North KC site. And there's been a lot of drama coming out of Jackson County here the last few days. Does that bode well for Clay County? We'll see. We'll see. David Slater is with the Clay County Economic Development Council. Always good to have him on KCMO Talk Radio. So, David, you're watching this from afar, and what are you thinking up there in Clay as you see some of this drama south of the river?
Good morning, Pete. We have drama too, but we're going to keep it behind closed doors. If I've got a problem with Jerry Nolte or someone on the commission or Mayor DeLong, we can just pick up the phone, talk to each other, or go have lunch, and we're not going to share it in the media. North Kansas City's never been out of this equation, and the Royals are dealing with these people on a regular basis.
So do you think that all this drama that is playing out in the media here locally is good for you in Clay County and trying to land this team?
Absolutely it is.
Mm-hmm. Have you had conversations to suggest that's the case in the last few days?
No, that's their issue, not ours, and we just see an opportunity that once again it shows that North Kansas City is a great option.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, though, when the Royals delayed that deadline, David, from the end of September, and here we are in October with really no update to speak of from the team? Did you take that as good news for North Kansas City or bad news?
No, I love extra innings, and this plays right into our hand because we've got information, and maybe like a lot of media, the Royals said, okay, well, this might not be our best opportunity, but every day that goes by, we look better, and we're very proud of that.
How do you work around the fact, and this has kind of come up as of late as you guys have become a serious contender here in this, how do you work around the fact that the Royals do have this lease at the Truman Sports Complex till 2031, and you and I both know that if they go up your way, Jackson County is not going to let them out of any kind of commitment there in their county. So how do you work around that to try to get the team up north? Because you can make the case easily. It is much easier for the team to stay in Jackson County to not have to deal with trying to get out of that lease and everything that's going to entail.
I have zero idea how that's going to work. I know it's an issue. I know it's locked down, ironclad, but I imagine they get the Chiefs and the Royals in Jackson County in a room and say, okay, Clay County, here's what it's going to take to buy this lease out or just whatever. But, again, that's part of the negotiations that I'm not involved with. I'm just sitting on the sideline giving them advice necessary.
Well, as the executive director of the Clay County Economic Development Council, I'm sure that you've had conversations on what it would take to get the team up there. But what about balancing economic development and what's in the best interest of the taxpayer? I know, you're not a guy that wants to fleece any taxpayers up there in Clay County. So how do you balance that out as the guy who's also, the head of the Clay County Economic Development Council?
Taxes are a big part of quality of life. Mm-hmm. And if we can become one of 27 markets in the world with Major League Baseball, there's a lot of benefits to that. Tourism, there's going to be jobs created. With the Merrimans buying that property, there's businesses that we're working with right now. There's just a lot of things that can happen if you become one of those 27 markets. You saw a report out of Independence the other day, how much it's going to affect them if the Royals move out of the sports complex. And that wasn't even in Independence. It was just a neighborhood. And this is right in Clay County in North Kansas City. And these things are huge. And that's why it's such a demand to get one of these ball teams.
Mm-hmm. What is that fine line? I mean, there's been rumors of a full penny sales tax. I mean, what is that fine line between what you're talking about there, which is bringing jobs and economic development to a region versus saying, that's too much of an ask if you're the Royals?
Well, that's going to be up to the voters, but I would say a penny's fair. I don't know what they're going to come up with out of the county commission and the Royals sitting down talking, but anything over a penny might be more of a push. And yeah, you'd love to have it be a half cent, but we're going to see what happens. I think the people up are excited about this opportunity, and that's the reaction I'm getting so far.
Mm-hmm. David Slater is joining us. He is the executive director of the Clay County Economic Development Council. So do you have any new timeline here, David? Anything? I mean, I know the conversations are ongoing, but what do you think? Are we going to know by the holidays at this point what the Royals want to do?
Well, obviously, there's a deadline if you want to get on the April ballot, which is in January. But I'm here in the middle of November right now, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's on the Royals' timeline. We'll go when they say to go, and we're excited about that, and we'll try to keep our business out of the news. I'm sorry to say that because that's not good for the industry, but it's just like a family spat. If you got a brother and you get into it, you don't do it in front of everybody at school. You do it at home. And you take care of business and patch it up and go.
Yeah, but it's a lot more fun doing it in front of everybody, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness, yes, it is. But you know what? Where'd that get you?
All right, so you're ballparking middle of November, potentially, maybe getting something from the team. Has your pitch changed at all? Like what over the last month in your conversations? What new stuff are you bringing to the table here to the team?
No, I'm just out presenting. Last week I presented in Liberty and Smithville both, and we've got this thing called the 587 Project, which is a huge development up here. And we dropped the stadium there and said, well, that wouldn't work. And then I wrap it up. I say, but this would. And we go into all the benefits of having the team in North Kansas City, which is just, again, the tourism, it's a job. And to be honest with you, the prestige. Again, there's 27 markets. There's 30 Major League Baseball teams in 27 markets, and we could be one of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, David, we'll be following.
I'm sorry?
I said we'll be following along, my friend. We appreciate you hopping on. You got a final item for us there?
Oh, no. Everybody's going to love North Kansas City. It's beautiful. It's fun, and we're going to just have a really good time. It's going to be a totally different ballpark experience for everybody.
Well, that is true. I'll give you that. Hey, David, we'll be in touch. Thanks so much.
Anytime. Lunch sometime, okay?
You bet. There you go. David Slater, Clay County Economic Development Council, Executive Director on KCMO Talk Radio.